At first light, beside the Euphrates, a woman presses barley into the damp earth. From such quiet beginnings, civilization itself would rise in the Fertile Crescent and along the Nile. Farming anchored humanity to the land, and surplus gave rise to planners, priests, and the first laws. The leap from the campfire to the city had begun. Far to the east, the Yellow River nourished fields of millet. Along the Indus, cities of baked brick stood organized and proud. As villages swelled, speech hardened into script. Belief and power learned to work in concert, weaving the stories that could bind a crowd into a culture. Hinduism and Buddhism spoke of duty. Judaism taught of a sacred covenant. These were the invisible threads of trust that allowed strangers to trade, to build, and to march under a single banner. As ideas traveled, they fueled the engines of empire. The Achaemenids built the roads. Roman magistrates codified the law. Coin, courier, and canal became the veins of these vast bodies, carrying not just armies, but connection itself. Along the Silk Roads and the monsoon sea lanes, caravans carried salt and stories. New technologies accelerated this exchange. Paper allowed memory to travel. The compass freed sailors from the sight of shore, and gunpowder forever changed the meaning of power. But these same routes that carried progress also carried plague, a pattern of global connection and vulnerability we know all too well today. Yet the world was wider still. Across a vast ocean, another history was unfolding. Maya cities rose from the rainforest. The Mexica built their capital on an island of markets. This was no backwater, but a world distinct and complete, with Inca roads that rivaled any in the Old World, and Pacific voyagers who read the stars to weave a web of islands across the sea. Then the two worlds met. A ship cuts toward a horizon no chart can hold. Off the coast of a new continent, a sailor tastes the sea and smoke.
Below deck, a chained woman from Africa coughs in the dark, while a descendant of our Euphrates planter grips the rigging above. This single voyage would bind continents in the Great Columbian Exchange, an entanglement of new life and immense suffering. It also sparked a revolution of the mind. Telescopes and experiments shattered old certainties, giving rise to a dangerous question. If knowledge can be tested, why not kings? That question would ignite revolutions in the Americas, in France, and in Haiti, transforming subjects into citizens. Steam-powered looms and locomotives would then shrink the globe, crowding cities and staining the skies. One world intertwined and on a collision course with itself. The collision came. 2 world wars and the shadow of the atom shattered the old empires. From the ashes, new nations rose, and movements for human rights demanded dignity for all. Then came globalization and the internet, connecting us in ways previously unimaginable. Today, as we face the challenges of climate change, pandemics, and artificial intelligence, we are living the consequences of every chapter that came before. This is our inheritance, the story of how we became so connected, and what we choose to do with that connection is the story that continues now.